of MCP. I'm a
Yeah,
part of the external relations department. I'm an external relations officer.
I see.
Mm.
Okay, cool.
Okay, should we start off?
Sure. By the way, I
Okay.
still can hear my echo for some reason.
I could change the microphone itself, which is weird why you can hear it. Okay. Let me just change mics entirely then. Okay, you should be able to hear me like this, right? But it's way worse.
Yeah, okay.
But you don't hear
Even
an
now I
echo,
can hear
right?
my own stuff.
Well, that's weird. Why?
Let me check if it's my problem then.
Maybe? Let me see if I have headphones, I guess. 1 second. Okay. Okay, hello?
Yep, hi. Still
Why
can
is
hear
this
my
weird?
own.
Okay, wait.
This is weird. Uh,
Okay, right now I can hear you in my headphones, so there's no sound coming out of my laptop.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, better, right?
Should be okay. No,
Nothing,
I
right?
still can hear myself.
How? I can hear you in my headphones.
Let me get my earphones as well. Just give me a second.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Hello. Can you hear?
Hello? Yeah, can.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think it's better now.
Is it better now? Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Still can hear, but it's
Alright.
way softer.
Even right now I can hear I can hear my voice more.
Well,
But
that's
it's fine.
okay. Okay. Sure. We can start now.
Alright, sure. Can you see my shared screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Well, to start off, we are working on an article which is we're aiming at helping students who are either almost graduating or fresh graduates. We want to make them more familiar about the industry hiring cycles. So, students who want to move on into the job market, corporate, logistics, whatever it is, we want to make them more familiar with how the hiring cycles work. So in that way we can benefit them with their careers and everything. So to start off, can you just tell us a bit about yourself, briefly introduce yourself, university background, and your current role that you're in right now?
All right. My name is Derek. I actually graduated with a bachelor's human resource management degree. All right. In Nilai University. All right. I'm actually currently heading the recruitment and employer branding for SPX Express.
Okay, interesting. And when you were a student, maybe almost around graduating as well, how did you perceive recruitment cycles and the hiring timelines?
I think that was quite some time ago. If
Mm,
I were to recall, right, I think I was a student back then. I studied HR. All right, what I learned in theory and versus the practical is very, very different. So I think the recruitment cycle often feel very confusing and rigid.
mm,
I think many didn't realize the application period, right? Especially for like those bigger companies, they have a cycle to it, then they open in advance. So it's easy to actually miss the deadline. Yeah.
okay.
So I think in terms of hiring timelines wise, also felt slow. Like when you apply, you took some time for the employer to actually get back. So those who understand the process early would have clearly have the advantage to it lah. Otherwise, yeah, others will just keep struggle to keep up.
Exactly, and that's what we're aiming for is trying to make it, even if it's a bit, but just try and make it easier for people to at least be familiar with it and not just be thrown out there and just figure everything out for themselves on their own. Um, moving on to our core questions about recruitment. In
Hmm.
your industry, when do internship applications usually open and close?
I see. I think that is the funny thing, right? So as a student, I felt rigid, but when it comes to at least for SPX, right, it's actually open all year long, right? We don't really have a fixed cycle to it. I can't really comment for the industry, but at least I know for SPX that we do not have a fixed cycle.
Okay, okay. And when would you usually onboard new interns?
Uh, when do I usually onboard new interns? Since I don't have a fixed cycle, so it depends on the business needs. So let's say, for example, today I have a data analyst internship. All right, then I'll do the job posting, and then the recruiters will then get garnered all the applicants. Usually we try to cater it to when the universities graduates to having their sem break or summer break or whatnot. Yeah. And that's where we do the recruitment. And then we will, of course, for interns, can't really expedite anything. We
Mm,
will only be able to follow the timelines that the university uh, and semester gave.
mm, mm. Okay, interesting. I mean, I guess you kind of already answered this, but maybe if we focus more on graduate programs, when do graduate programs typically begin recruiting,
Hmm.
or is
I,
it
I
same
I
as
think
well?
for this as well, right? At this point in time, SPX don't how's that called? Don't have a graduate program yet. However, if let's say I were to give my 2 cents, right, benchmark to market, industry, and also counterparts like Shopee, right, we usually begin the application process around Q2 of the year, right? This may
Mm,
change time to time as we try to match the graduation period of the universities as well. So basically, we try to find a sweet spots in between. So there isn't like a fixed guarantee period for every industry.
okay, perfect.
Mm.
And does it also differ for full-time roles? Hiring cycles become seasonal or year-round, or is it also open
Yeah,
game?
yeah, yeah. For aspects, it's all year round. All right. I think the core reason here is that we are still consider ourselves in expanding, and this is our like 7 or 8 years
Mm,
in since our startup. So I think we don't really have like a seasonal hiring cycle.
okay. And if you would give a bit of advice to students, how far in advance do you think they should start preparing before application season?
Since the hiring is not seasonal for aspects, I think let me tweak a little bit lah. All right. So here's what I can advise to students is that in my opinion that there's no perfect timing to apply to any companies or even SPX, right?
Mm,
I think what students really need to do is actually to research and understand what they are going to apply instead of the other way around where typically the market does, which is to apply and then research, right? I think
mm,
students will never know, when they will get shortlisted or expect a call from a recruiter. So this is the part, if let's say the recruiter call you or the students and they don't recall or they don't really know what they applied for, and it's
mm.
gonna be a turn off.
Okay. And I guess for SPX Express, maybe there aren't really peak recruitment periods, but if we're talking about the industry in general, are there any peak recruitment periods students should never miss?
I think in general, my understanding in the market is also based on the business needs. Unless for specific programs like student graduates program, then yes, there's a fixed
Mm,
recruitment period, whereby they will go by phase. They will just at first they will collect all the data, all the applicants, and then they will process to the next stage, maybe during the interviews, and usually there will be multiple rounds of interviews as well, right? And sometimes there will be the two application cycle in a year, or sometimes some companies will have one application cycle in a year.
okay. And from your experience, do you think there are some students who make mistakes regarding timing or they miss deadlines, stuff like that?
Mm, I, 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 I am not sure if I can comment. I'm the right person to comment on that. So far, in my opinion, I think the timing really depends on the individual itself. All right. Also depending on what company they are applying to. Yeah. So
Okay.
I I wouldn't say they would. There's and from my experience, there isn't any mistakes. I think it's echoing what I mentioned earlier, lah, is to always be prepared. All right. If let's say you're going to apply for a role, but if let's say you were to miss the opportunity, I believe usually there will be another window to apply to it.
Okay, interesting. Fair enough. And if we move on more to the strategy that comes with it or the
Mm.
preparation, what would you say recruiters in your industry value the most during application screening?
I think for myself, or at least for SPX, right, there's three things that recruiters here actually value a lot. I think first thing is, uh, usually we will conduct a call with the recruiters, all right, upon reviewing the CV. So of course, if let's say the CV is well written, that's important as well. But the three key things when we do the application screening, when we talk to candidates, is first thing is the commitment and responsiveness. All right. Then the second thing I would say is more on the transparency, right? How transparent is this candidate when we are talking to them, then I think that the third thing here is, whether this candidate has like a structural train of thoughts.
Okay, interesting. And I would say also as someone who is very focused on their GPA, how would you say how important are GPA when compared to skills and experience in your industry?
Okay, so I think it depends whether today you are asking this as a student or you're asking this as a experienced hire, right? All right.
Mm,
So I think as a student at the beginning, right, GPA is considered very important. All right. I would actually say it's like a VIP ticket to get to a screening call with the recruiters and eventually interviews. All right. I think besides GPA, right, having internship experience also help. Yeah. So
okay.
on the other hand, I think if let's say today you are experienced folks, 1, 2 years experience, I think the skills and experience then come hand in hand. All right. Then GPA then became more of a reference of the individual track record.
Okay, interesting. And what would you say students should be doing 6 to 12 months before applying while they're looking out for new recruitments, listings, job listings? What should they be doing?
I think first thing is to do research, understand what they really truly want to apply. Okay, of course, before that, it would be good if let's say they can gain some experience through internship. This is the way that they can actually explore more what into the real corporate world is. All right, after years of studying the practical, sorry, not practical, the theory. Yeah,
Yeah.
then you should start building their they should start building their resume. All right,
Mm.
resume, LinkedIn, slowly build up their portfolios lah. All right. Um, then I think this is the right time to also test out what they want to really do. Yeah. So I think these are the few things that the probably students should be doing 6 to 12 months before.
Okay. I would say this is a question from me more, and it's kind of maybe a loaded question. But how would you
Mm.
advise people to build up experience during their studies, and how should they test out what they really want to do?
I think first thing, right, you go for internships during your second and third year. All right, start early. All right, because you go for different in the industry. Usually internship, the entry requirements are very low, but it's also good for students to actually find out, within the company itself, how does it work, right? For instance, if let's say today we have a HR opening, you join us. When you are in the company, you will get to actually explore and work with other stakeholders as well. The curiosity is very important. Yeah. Then of course, second thing is probably you go for you stay active um, during your curriculums, join clubs, have the networking, work with the corporate, partner with the corporate if there's an opportunity. Yeah, I think that will actually help as well to find what the candidates or sorry, what the students actually want to do in future. Yeah, a lot of times when students study a course, is probably because of influence. Could be influence. It could be, not something they wanted in the beginning, or they just don't know where to begin. So I think during the 3 to 4 years of degree, it's really important for them to start, exploring this to better understand, find their path in the career.
Okay, perfect. Really good. Um, Jumping off from that, would you say that networking and referrals are important in your industry?
I think short answer yes, but it depends. All right.
Mm.
Having the network and referrals, right? I think it will definitely helps.
Okay.
Uh, um, but it doesn't really guarantee you a role. Yeah.
Okay. And if you could give one timing related advice to students, what would it be? I think you already kind of hit hard on this by
Mm.
saying start early, but is there anything else?
Mm, Let me think. Yeah, I think it's really echoing my earlier points. But I think to sum it so to sum this up, right? I think the bottom line here is that timing actually to me is second thing lah. Okay,
Mm.
readiness should be the first, because if let's say we just focus on the timing, just want to chase the application period, and the students are not ready, eventually it's just wasted opportunity. Yeah, because at times, right, when one company rejected you once, they wouldn't consider you for a second time. There will be a cooling period as well.
Okay. Okay. How would you advise students to start readying themselves? Would you also say it's just, yeah, try getting experience, test out the waters?
Mm, uh, Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
So if you say readiness is the number one thing that
Mm,
students should have, how do you think they should prepare themselves basically to be ready?
yeah, I think I have mentioned, like, for example, have more internship. I think networking is
Mm,
important. Third
mm,
thing is, start speaking to the corporate. I think they can start by speaking to their friends and family, right, to understand what the corporate world actually looks like, right, and understand, yeah, from there, is the scope that their friends and family is doing right now is something what they want to pursue, right? It also depends, right? If a lot of times it depends on what you studied as well. If it's a business, then it's more general. But if it's you're studying doctor, obviously there's only within the medical field that you can choose within. Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you
Right.
you know you want to take a big step to pivot out. So I think
Mm.
this internship, speaking to your connections within friends and family would help as well.
Okay. Interesting. And if you would like to gather some insights from your industry, maybe some hidden things, we never know. Have recruitment timelines changed in recent years, or has it been more of a stagnant thing?
Not for aspects. We are aggressively hiring for the past years.
Okay. Okay. And would you say that there are any industry trends that students should be aware of?
I think when it comes to industry trends, obviously now we talk about more about AI, automation, and whatnot, right? That is basically every other companies are looking at right now, and I believe students are also looking at right
Mm.
now. For SPX, it's also the same. In fact, people might view us as a logistic company, but not really. All right, we actually want talents from all sorts of faculties or major. For instance, we are very open for engineering students. Yeah, because in general, we think that all the engineers don't, those that studied engineer don't really have to go typical route, which is, into the manufacturing field. They can actually come and be the problem solver for us.
Okay, interesting. And let's say if you want to make this very relatable to students and kind of make it more familiar with them. Also, if we would talk about your personal experience, if you were a student again, how would you strategically plan your applications?
Hmm.
Maybe some
Um,
mistakes that you did back then that you would like to maybe
hmm.
correct.
Um, I mean, I was lucky. I was lucky.
Mm.
I actually started with my internship, and then I got converted right there on. So, uh, but then again, I can share also what I have, what my friends or probably connections, people close to me that have um, experienced before. Is that first thing, they didn't prepare enough before they go for interviews. All right. I
Mm.
think the other way is also at times, you and the other way is that maybe if I was a student again, I might want to go to gain more experience by interviewing with lots of companies. Yeah, or sometimes having mock interviews would help as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I think aside from that, yeah, I think uh, when it comes to application stage, it's also advisable that the students tailor their resume, uh, you know, to
Mm.
align with the roles that they are applying.
Mm.
Okay, then yeah, I think pretty much that's my that's my view on this.
Okay. I would say I would assume you look at a lot of resumes. Would you say that there are actually what are the three things that you focus on the most when you look at a resume, and what do you think people can improve on?
Hmm. Yeah, so I think first thing is how the resume is being structured. All right.
Mm.
I have seen tons of resumes. I've seen resumes that's so super lengthy, 5 page, even as a fresh grad. And but what recruiters will actually seek for is, first simplicity, clear and concise. All
Mm.
right. Second thing is obviously be transparent, right? If let's say today you know for the fact that you're probably not a top scorer, it's okay, just put it in, right? But then the thing is also, I think, uh I would say, yeah, how the resume is being structured. All right. I think clear and concise is one, but how the resume is being structured is also important, right? Is it from how you write your executive summary, how you split the A4 page into, to fit everything you want to tell to the recruiter, that you want to highlight to the recruiter.
Okay, perfect. I think that would
Mm.
wrap up all of our questions that we have. Are there any final words you would like to maybe relate to students who are either graduated or fresh graduated, aside from all of these?
Same. I think before you make an application, just make sure that you are ready, you're clear, and you understand what you're applying to.
All right, perfect. I think we can stop the recording here.
Okay.
Mm, mm.